Hey guys, Mashud here. The movie we're going to be reviewing today is called Teraa Surroor, starring Himesh Reshammiya and a few other people. Now, Himesh was an exceptionally good music director, and some may argue he still is. However, ever since he started acting with Teraa Surroor, he just hasn't stopped. His movie career is a list of endless flops, but he's still going strong. What is he trying to prove? He had a good thing going by just being a good music director. I mean, why bite more than you can chew? Well, let's see if Teraa Surroor, which I guessed was a sequel to Teraa Surroor, lived up to the low expectations. We see that Tara is being chased by some cops in Ireland and they find drugs in the car. She decides to make one phone call to her fiancé, Raghu, who by the way happens to be perhaps the most bored assassin I've ever seen. Seriously, did all that working out give him facial paralysis? Mr. Potato Head has more expression than this guy. After a boring shootdown, he goes to a club and sleeps with some next girl. Even though he narrates that he's breaking Tara's trust on purpose, not really clarified why, but he does it. He admits to Tara that he made a mistake at a club. The next day is awkward as they are still living together and her mom lives with them too. The mom thinks whatever argument they're having is Tara's fault since
he has a heart of gold.
Yeah, gold like a fox. See how that joke didn't make any sense? Yeah, neither does her reasoning. So to add songs in this movie, Raghu reminisces about the time him and his fiancée were a happy couple. Only she's the only one who looks happy. Raghu looks like he's constipated all the time. Another thing is that there's so much slow motion used in this movie, it gets really annoying. Fight scenes, flashbacks, song sequences, this movie is literally a drag to watch. So we see that Tara is also a singer with her own band. She makes it obvious that they're having trouble in their relationship by requesting a band member or some security to advise Raghu to not see her, and then stands right in front of him staring. We flash to the present and we see Raghu heading to Ireland to meet Tara in prison, who obviously does not care that he clearly cheated on her. Raghu hires an Indian lawyer, obviously, to help them with the case. Turns out Tara met some guy on Facebook named Anirudh, who requested her to come play a show in Ireland for India Day.
But there's nothing called India Day here.
Why would Ireland hold an India Day? It's like India holding a Mozambique Day. Anyways, so before going to Ireland, Anirudh apparently advised Tara to get some books and CDs for him from his grandmother, which ultimately had drugs stored in them. So she left India with drugs, passed through their customs, landed in Ireland, passed through their customs, and she wasn't caught in the airport, but she was chased by cops after she left the airport. The lawyer advises Raghu they're tracing the profile and calls of Anirudh and making a sketch of the lady who passed on the drugs. Is that a police sketch or some anime girl from fanfiction? What the hell, movie? So we see the Indian commissioner, played by Kabir Bedi, indicating they must hunt down Anirudh for drug trafficking. Now, the most annoying thing in this movie was whenever they mentioned Anirudh, they would show some guy in a hoodie with gloves on playing an instrument every single goddamn time. While meeting the lawyer at a shooting range, because why not? She says the laws are very strict and that Tara must remain in Ireland's prison and cannot go back to India. Randomly, some Irish starts berating an Indian guy at the shooting range for having a horrible aim, basically hating towards Indians in general for no reason. Raghu, being under the eye of cops, takes his own gun and headshots all the targets, and everyone claps. You know, one thing I've noticed about Indian movies is that a lot of them have either subliminal or very to-the-face patriotism. Why? I mean, if the movie revolves around that issue, sure, add it in, go ahead. But sometimes it just has nothing to do with anything.
बोल भारत माता की जय।
भारत माता की जय।
We meet the Indian ambassador, who also happens to be the lawyer's husband. He says how it's impossible to do anything now as all evidence points towards her. Him being of no help, Raghu notices a billboard or something about a man who's escaped 14 prisons known as the Bird, played by Nasiruddin Shah. And since he has nothing better to live for, he now resides in the prison by his own accord. Yeah. So while visiting him at the prison, they discuss about how to run away from prison and to avoid cops while in prison with guards listening. Oh, and he's sketching a picture of Raghu in prison during all this. Raghu keeps on saying Tara and his name over and over, and the guy's like, dude, I really don't care what your guy's name is. And he replies,
आपको फर्क पड़ता है सर।
oh, is he her father or something? No, he's not. This little hint is never mentioned or brought up ever again. So as taught by the Bird, Raghu prepares the jailbreak and plans his escape with Tara. Raghu advises Tara to cut herself in the most obvious way, So she bleeds and is transferred to a hospital, while Raghu contemplates suicide before taking a sensual bath and heads on over to the hospital to cut the phone lines. You know the cameras still work, right? And so do wireless cell phones. I mean, come on movie, at least try a little harder. So we find out that Raghu has only 30 minutes to leave the city or else it will be in a complete lockdown. So they casually stroll away from the cops when time is short. You know what would really help, guys? If you change your looks. Seriously, a wig, a cap, a scarf, perhaps shave your beard. Tara can cut her hair short. Anything to be unrecognizable. But no, let's speed walk away from the cops. The cops raid Raghu's home, which I guess he had in Ireland, and find his getaway route. However, Raghu had changed it so the cops think he's getting away from another route. But being cops and having strict laws, wouldn't they cover all exits? I mean, that would be common sense, regardless of what map you find. So one cop happens to be at the right spot and they are driving towards each other while Assalamu Alaikum song plays in the back. Here's the thing, those words literally mean peace be upon you. Granted the beat is fast, but it has nothing to do with the situation that's going on right now. Just keep the beat and take out the lyrics. You're literally causing havoc and not peace, Raghu. So they simply pass each other rather than the cop blocking the way and Raghu shoots his tire flat. So the Indian ambassador is questioned as they believe he had something to do with the escape of Tara. However, he's like, nah yo, that ain't me brah. Meanwhile, Raghu gets informed by the commissioner about Anirudh's men's whereabouts. So Raghu naturally leaves Tara to go after him. But before leaving, he tells her how he's actually an assassin. Only the commissioner and a few ministers know his true identity. And the reason he slept with the girl was to plant a bomb in her cell to blow up her and the gangster she was seeing.
I never cheated on you. It's part of my job.
You know, Mr. Assassin, sir, there are other ways of getting into someone's cell phone. You don't have to sleep with them to access it. No, but it was totally your job, so it's totally cool. Great job.
मैंने जो कुछ भी किया अपने देश के लिए किया मैं कोई गलत काम नहीं करता हूँ
Yeah, no, you still cheated. After fighting off a few men, one of them spills the beans and tells where Anirudh is waiting for them. So we finally get revealed who Anirudh is. And I have totally no idea who it was. Remember that guy who had one scene for about 5 seconds telling Raghu not to see Tara? Yeah, it's that guy. Apparently when Raghu was young, his mom was sick and he worked for a gangster as a chaiwala. He was assigned to kill the gangster by another gangster. When he asked his boss to give him the money instead, he mocked him and then got shot by Raghu. Anirudh was that gangster's son who saw Raghu kill his father, and thus started this whole intricate plan of getting back at him and his fiancée. Now, as monotone and boring Himesh was while acting, that's how much overacting this guy did while explaining himself. Seriously. Anyways, he knows if he kills Anirudh, there will be no witnesses to Tara's innocence. So he decides to play Russian roulette, aka and decides to shoot him anyways. Wow, so considerate. Turns out the Indian commissioner advised the Indian ambassador to bribe someone to have this whole case pardoned. Yeah, and they go home and the movie freaking ends. That's it. So if they could have cleared this whole thing with bribery in the first place, what the hell were they waiting for? The whole Tara being framed, Raghu cheating on his fiancée and then making it seem as a service to his country, and then resolving the whole matter with bribery at the end. This whole movie was an absolute waste of time. And what the hell does Teraa Surroor have anything to do with Aapka Surroor? I thought it was gonna be a sequel. They used similar titles and the same goddamn soundtrack in this movie. So what the hell? Needless to say, I think this movie was great and Himesh has a lot of upcoming good movies in his future career. Following is a list that I found online and you can definitely look forward to watching them. Teraa Surroor, Uska Surroor, Sabka Surroor, फिर वही सुरूर, सुरूर में गुरूर, तन्हाई में हुजूर, तेरी रोटी मंजूर, ये गरीब मजदूर, जय माता दी का नूर, खा के अंगूर, acting में मजबूर, नशे में चूर, बस इतना सा कसूर, Filmfare Lifetime Achievement Award. So what did you guys think about this movie? Is Himesh getting worse as the years progress, or was he horrible from the get-go? Let me know your views below and I'll see you guys next time. Later.